Archangel Michael says, "Listen carefully, because the moment you open your heart to these words, the truth that was hidden in whispers will come rushing into your soul." A third party has taken what was meant to stay in silence and spilled it into the open. Your person's secret has escaped their lips, and now the air is trembling with consequences. The energy surrounding you is heavy tonight, because what was said has caused your partner to lose the grip they thought they had. Their words came like thunder, and they declared something so final that even heaven shuddered. You must understand, this is not an accident, it is divine exposure. This revelation was not meant to break you, but to wake you. Heaven had watched the shadows growing, and so the light had to burst in suddenly, with no warning. That is why this truth is now standing right before you. Your person has lost control, and their emotions erupted without filter. In their weakness, they revealed how far they were willing to go, and how much they were ready to throw away. What they said has changed everything in your story. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The third party who spilled the secret was guided by more than human intention. They were moved to speak, so that your eyes could finally open to what had been hidden for too long. Heaven knew you deserved clarity, even if it came wrapped in pain. Your partner is now caught between shame and rage, unable to gather the pieces of what was lost. Their control has slipped, and their pride is collapsing in real time. It is in this raw space that truth finally holds power. The secret itself was heavier than you could imagine. It was something they thought they could keep sealed away forever, but heaven never allows such darkness to stay hidden. Now that it has spilled out, nothing can be undone. Even in this chaos, there is divine design. The exposure is not just a wound, it is a redirection. You were meant to see the hidden face of the one you trusted. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Their words, "I will never," echoed like a curse, but heaven is shifting it into a blessing for you. The never they shouted in anger is not the final word. It is the beginning of their downfall, and your rise. The one who betrayed your trust believed the third party would remain silent forever. But heaven always moves through unexpected messengers. That's why this confession was spilled in such a shocking, uncontrolled way. Now, the fire of truth is burning through their carefully constructed lies. Masks have fallen. What you are witnessing is a soul stripped bare in front of divine justice. Archangel Michael says this exposure was timed with precision. Every detail, every word, every outburst is part of a bigger picture heaven is revealing. You are not standing in ruins, you are standing at the doorway of transformation. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Your partner's outburst was not just an accident of emotion, it was a crack in the foundation they built with lies. The third party's confession forced their hand, and the truth tore through like lightning. Now, every word they tried to bury is coming alive again. They believed you would never discover what they whispered behind your back. They believed their charm could silence suspicion forever. But heaven allowed the secret to spill in the exact way it needed to, cutting them down to their truth. Now the silence between you has turned into a battlefield. Every glance, every breath, every thought carries the weight of betrayal. There never was screamed not only at you but at destiny itself, and destiny refuses to bow. The trembling you feel in your spirit is not weakness, it is awakening. The angels have moved the veil away from your eyes, and you can now see what was hidden in plain sight. This is not the end, this is the unveiling. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The third party's role was never random. They were chosen as the vessel to release the storm that could no longer stay locked away. Through them, the divine struck a match to burn away the illusions. Your partner is now restless, pacing, unable to undo the damage they caused with their outburst. Their pride told them they were in control, but pride always collapses under the weight of divine justice. What they shouted in anger has now chained them. Do not mistake their anger for strength. It is not power, it is desperation. They are cornered by their own words, and the heavens are watching. Archangel Michael says, when the truth erupts, it cannot be silenced again. The angels have shattered their disguise so you can step forward unbound. The exposure was your protection, your shield, and your liberation. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The words they said, so sharp, so final, echo louder than they imagined. They thought they could wound you with them, but they were actually carving their own downfall. Every syllable was a signature of their undoing. You are not left broken by this. Instead, you are standing as the witness to their collapse. Heaven has placed you in this position so that you see how power shifts when lies meet light. The third party who spoke feels shaken too, because they know they unleashed something irreversible. They did not plan the ripple, it was guided. You were meant to hear the secret exactly at this moment. Your partner's never was their attempt to slam the door shut. But in reality, that door has been ripped off its hinges, leaving everything exposed. They cannot hide anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The air around them is heavy with guilt. They pace, they replay the scene, but nothing can erase what has been spoken. It is permanent, etched in the atmosphere like fire in the night. They thought they could keep you in chains of illusion, but heaven was watching every move. What slipped through the lips of the third party has now become the loudest trumpet of truth. And nothing can silence it. This moment will haunt them, not you. For you, it is the freedom you have been waiting for. For them, it is the judgment they never thought would come so soon. The secret is now a flood. And in that flood, all their power is drowning. You are being lifted higher, while they are dragged down. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Your partner's voice cracked when the secret escaped, but they tried to mask it with rage. That anger was not power, it was fear revealing itself in its rawest form. Heaven let you witness the mask falling away. The third party who spilled the truth is trembling too, because they never expected their words to set off such an eruption. Yet their role was crucial, because silence would have kept you blind. Now, you stand awakened, holding the pieces of revelation. Your person's control is gone. They can no longer dictate the rhythm of your story, because destiny has taken command. Their attempts to twist the narrative are collapsing under the weight of their own confession. In their rage, they said they would never allow you to see what you now know. But the irony is this: the secret has already taken root in your spirit. You cannot unsee what has been revealed. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Every echo of their words hangs in the room like smoke after fire. You hear it replaying in your head, but not as pain, it is instruction. Heaven is teaching you what to carry forward and what to leave behind. The third party feels conflicted, torn between guilt and relief. But the angels whisper that their role was necessary, even if it caused a storm. Without them, you would have remained in the shadows. The one you trusted most is now exposed in ways they never imagined. Their secrets are no longer theirs alone. The earth, the air, and the heavens have absorbed the truth. They swore they would never let this secret break the surface. But now the surface has cracked, and every fragment shines with undeniable proof. There never has become forever. Type Amen to get blessing 222. You were not meant to carry confusion any longer. That is why the angels struck down the walls around you. The confusion they tried to feed you has been consumed by fire. Their pride shakes them now, because they realize they cannot take back what has already been spoken. Rage boils inside them, but it is the rage of defeat. Every word they used has become a weapon turned against themselves. The third party is watching from a distance, knowing they released something powerful. They sense heaven used them, even if they don't fully understand why. Their actions were a bridge for you to step into clarity. Your person's vow of never was shouted like thunder. But thunder only echoes for a moment before the calm sets in. Their noise cannot erase the light of truth. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The silence after their outburst speaks even louder. You can feel the shame that lingers in their body, unable to be hidden. They know they have been caught, not by you alone, but by heaven itself. Archangel Michael says this was not punishment, it was purification. The falsehoods had to be burned away so that only truth could remain. You have been shielded from a darker fate by this sudden unveiling. The third party may fear the consequences, but they must know heaven's protection is over them too. For by speaking, they set you free. And freedom always carries divine favor. Your partner's never is not the end of your story. It is the end of their illusion, and the beginning of your rise. From this breaking, new paths open. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Your partner's shadow can no longer hide in the corners where it once thrived. The light is exposing every detail, every whispered promise, every hidden betrayal. The third party's words have become a mirror that cannot be shattered. They thought they could scare you into silence with their rage. But the truth is stronger than threats, and heaven has already stamped this moment as destiny. You are standing in the ashes of their illusion, and yet you are still whole. The secret they carried has broken their own spirit. You can see it in their restless movements, in the tremble of their voice, in the hollow of their eyes. What was once power in their hands has slipped into your clarity. The storm that began with a whisper has now consumed the foundation they built. Nothing remains untouched. Even the walls that protected their lies are crumbling around them. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The third party has vanished into the silence now, but their role will forever echo. They were the key heaven used to open the locked door. Without them, you might have walked blind into deeper danger. Your partner is not only angry, they are terrified. They know their control is gone, and fear has taken its place. Their words of never were not power. They were the sound of collapse. Archangel Michael says the heavens have waited for this unveiling. They did not want you bound to deception any longer. The truth had to arrive, even if it arrived through fire. You can feel the shift in the atmosphere. It is heavy but clear, painful but liberating. This is the point where endings turn into beginnings. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Their rage will not be the last word. Heaven always writes the final line, and it is written in your favor. You were chosen to see the hidden things, not to be blinded by them. The third party's confession may feel like betrayal, but it was actually protection. They carried a truth too heavy to remain silent. They were pulled by unseen hands to speak when they did. Your partner knows they have been unmasked, and they cannot rebuild the illusion. The more they try to cover it, the more it slips away. Heaven is dismantling their fortress piece by piece. Now you stand in the place where clarity is undeniable. And though the path ahead feels uncertain, you are no longer deceived. That is the gift hidden inside the storm. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Every memory is replaying in your mind, but this time you see it differently. You notice the small signs, the overlooked gestures, the words that never sat right. Heaven is connecting the dots for you. Their outburst of "never" was a declaration of their fear. They were afraid of losing control, afraid of losing the image they worked so hard to protect. That fear is now their undoing. The third party's lips may tremble, but the angels have covered them with protection. What they revealed was divine timing, not human weakness. You were meant to hear it, and now you cannot unhear it. Your partner's secrets are no longer secrets. They are living flames that burn through the night, illuminating every corner. The silence they once used against you has been destroyed forever. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The fire of truth has burned through every lie they wrapped around you. Nothing remains hidden, because heaven has written the exposure into your destiny. What you are witnessing is not chaos, but justice unfolding. Your partner can no longer hold the mask. Their voice shakes when they speak, and their eyes avoid yours, because they know the angels have already judged them. Their own words have become chains around their soul. The third party may not even understand the power of what they revealed. But heaven smiles upon them, because they carried the spark that set you free. The secret was never meant to stay buried. Their "never" was shouted like thunder in desperation. But thunder fades, while light remains. Their attempt to close the story only opened a new chapter for you. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Now the silence feels different. It is not heavy with confusion, but clear with certainty. You see through every illusion, every excuse, every manipulation. The angels have sharpened your vision. Archangel Michael says this moment was designed for your liberation. The unraveling of their secret was heaven's way of guiding you out of the snare. You are walking out of shadows and into undeniable clarity. The third party who revealed it will fade into the background, but their role will never be forgotten. They became the trumpet of truth when heaven called for it. And through them, destiny moved forward. Your partner's anger may roar, but it is powerless now. The lie they clung to has collapsed, and their empire of deception lies in ruins. You are no longer trapped within it. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. The secret they tried to bury has become the very stone that trips them. You no longer carry the weight, it has returned to its owner. And they cannot escape the consequences of what they built. The heavens are closing this chapter for you with finality. There is no turning back, no pretending this never happened. The truth has already been sealed in light. The angels surround you now, not to shield you from truth, but to strengthen you through it. You were chosen to endure the unveiling because your destiny requires clarity. And now you have it in full. There never will echo in their own heart long after this. But for you, it will fade, replaced by a stronger word, forever. Forever free, forever guided, forever rising. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The storm inside them has not passed. Their words of denial still echo, but now they are trapped in their own voice. Every attempt to cover their shame only exposes them further. The third party watches from a distance, knowing the truth they revealed cannot be taken back. They feel the shift in the atmosphere, and they know something larger than themselves is at work. Heaven guided them into this moment for you. Your partner's rage is not the kind that can destroy you, it is the kind that destroys itself. Their pride burns hotter than fire, but pride always consumes the one who carries it. They cannot win against truth. Even the walls of their home feel heavy with the weight of what was spoken. Nothing feels the same, because once truth has broken loose, it changes everything it touches. You have entered a season where nothing can be hidden from you again. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. There never was supposed to break you. But instead, it has broken them. Every time they repeat it in their mind, it cuts deeper into their own spirit. The third party may wrestle with fear, but the angels have shielded them. Their act was not betrayal, it was deliverance. Without them, you would still be bound. Archangel Michael says this secret had been festering like a poison in the dark. Now the poison has been drained, and though it stings, healing has begun. The wound is no longer hidden, it is open to the light. Your partner knows that nothing they say can restore what has been destroyed. There never has sealed their fate. The divine has written a new script over their words. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. The truth was not meant to make you crumble. It was meant to show you how strong you truly are. You did not collapse under the weight, you stood. Their outburst has turned into silence now, but silence is louder than noise when filled with guilt. You can feel the tremor of their shame in every glance. They cannot face you, because heaven has already judged them. The third party's name may never be remembered, but their role will echo across eternity. They became the unexpected vessel of light. Through them, heaven chose the moment of unveiling. You are not left in ruins. You are left standing on the foundation of truth. And truth will never abandon you. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. Their voice still trembles when they try to explain. But explanations mean nothing now, because the secret is no longer theirs to control. Heaven has stripped away every excuse. The third party feels the weight of what they unleashed, yet heaven reminds them, it was not betrayal but obedience. They were guided to speak at the right time. Without their voice, you would still be blind. Your partner's fury burns, but it is hollow. Inside, They know they are cornered by their own confession. Their words have betrayed them louder than any outsider could. The air is thick with truth, and it will not lift. Every object, every memory around you carries the echo of what was said. The secret is carved into the atmosphere. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. There never was supposed to slam the door shut on you. But in reality, it has opened 1,000 doors of clarity. You now see the shape of their soul more clearly than ever before. The third party's presence may fade, but the impact of their revelation will never vanish. They were a tool of heaven, chosen in the silence. Their words were a blade of light. Archangel Michael says this exposure is a shield around you. It was not meant to destroy, it was meant to protect. Lies can no longer hide in your world. Your partner is unraveling quickly, unable to rebuild what has collapsed. Their foundation is gone, their mask is shattered, and their future is slipping through their own hands. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. The angels are standing near you now, whispering strength into your spirit. You may feel the sting of betrayal, but it will pass, and what remains will be freedom. You have endured the breaking because you were destined for rising. The third party will wrestle with guilt, but heaven honors them. For they carried the truth that others could not. Their courage has shifted your story forever. Your partner's never rings in their own mind, louder each day. They cannot escape it, because it has become their prison. Their rage has turned inward, consuming them piece by piece. The secret is no longer poison inside you, it is medicine. It hurt to swallow, but it will heal you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Heaven always turns pain into purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Their control is finished. They cannot rewrite the narrative, no matter how they try. Heaven has already sealed this moment as truth. The third party's voice is fading from the noise of chaos, but the message remains crystal clear. Nothing can erase what was spoken. It has become law in the spirit. Your partner is restless, pacing like a caged animal. Every word they shouted now circles back to strike them. Their never has become the very chain around their neck. You, however, are no longer bound. You are stepping forward with eyes wide open. The angels have cleared the fog from your path. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Their words linger like smoke after fire, but the smoke is choking them, not you. They thought their denial would silence you forever, yet heaven has turned their never into the loudest confession. Every syllable now testifies against them. The third party feels the tremor of what they unleashed, but destiny confirms it was necessary. They opened the gate at the precise second the angels commanded. Through them, the shadows were shattered. Your partner stumbles between anger and regret. Their steps are unsteady, their pride crushed under the truth. No mask can cover them now. Even in their silence, the secret roars louder than thunder. It vibrates through the walls, through the air, through the very ground beneath your feet. You are no longer blind, you are awakened. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. They may try to rebuild their image, but the cracks are permanent. What has been seen cannot be unseen. Their empire of control has fallen to dust. The third party carries mixed feelings, but heaven shields them. They were not an enemy, they were a messenger. Their courage has marked the turning point of your journey. Archangel Michael says the angels themselves witnessed this unveiling. They stood guard as the secret burst forth. It was the sound of chains breaking. Your partners, never, will echo in their soul forever. They cannot erase it, for it has become a signature of their downfall. You, however, are stepping out lighter, freer, stronger. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. The lies they built now haunt them. At night, they hear their own voice repeating the moment, unable to rest. Their sleep is broken, their peace shattered. The third party may never fully understand how heaven used them, but their obedience will not go unrewarded. Their role has sealed your protection. Their words became the blade that cut the ties. You no longer stand in darkness. Every hidden detail has been dragged into the light. You are free from illusions that once bound your heart. Their fury is fading, replaced with despair. What they thought was strength was only weakness exposed. Their downfall is the proof of heaven's timing. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. The angels are lifting you higher now. You are not meant to dwell on their lies, but to step into destiny unchained. This breaking has been your making. The third party's shadow fades, but their role remains carved into eternity. They were chosen for a moment, and they fulfilled it. That moment has saved you from deeper harm. Your partner cannot look you in the eyes, because heaven's truth is reflected there. Their shame is unbearable, and their voice trembles in defeat. Their never now belongs to them alone. The silence after the storm feels holy. It is the silence of new beginnings, the silence where angels write your next chapter. You are standing in freedom, and nothing can bind you again. Type Amen to get blessing 2323.